Against the backdrop of the India-Canada spat, what is important to underline is how, over decades, Canada has actually patronized Khalistani terror groups. And nothing exemplifies that better than what happened with the bombing of Air India one day. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. Our focus has continued to be on giving the victims of that bombing a voice. So many decades later, all of the victims feel one thing in common: there was never any justice done. In fact, the only man ever convicted in Canada for exploding and putting bombs on Air India 182 in 1985 actually walked free. He was released by a parole board. We have been talking to the families of those who were killed on board. And today, we are going to be talking to somebody very, very special: the wife of one of the pilots of the plane, the wife of Captain Bhinder. Let me welcome to this program Amarjit Kaur Bhinder. She has been speaking for years about how no justice has been done in this case. She lost her husband. She was still a young mother. Her two children were very young when the plane blew up mid-air over the coast of Ireland. For decades, she, like the others, 329 people, 100 of them children, asked for justice. That justice never came. Before 9/11, this was the biggest such incident of mass deaths in aviation history. And yet Canada not just enabled it, but also erased it. Amarjit Kaurji, thank you for talking to us. I know that it's never easy. इसमें दर्द भी है, गुस्सा भी है, और कितने भी साल गुजर जाएं, it's never easy to talk about it. I just want to ask you today, when you see the world finally paying attention to what Canada and Khalistan and the links between Canada and terror groups, when you look back at how you lost your husband, आज आपके मन में क्या है? आज आप देश के लोगों को, दुनिया के लोगों को क्या बोलना चाहेंगे?
See, we lost so many people, as you know, 329, including 22 crew members and 80 plus children in that crash. So young generation may not know much about this, but people who are our age or slightly younger, they still know about it, how it happened, and we never got justice and all that. We always wanted a closure to this tragedy, which we never got. And till date, there is so much of pain, hurt, which we cannot show, neither by words nor by expressions. Only we know how much painful it is to us, our families, the people who are left behind, and the families who lost so many people in one family, and they are still suffering.
Ma'am, when you say that, there was no closure, do you remember even today when that phone call first came informing you that your husband, Captain Bhinder, who was the first officer, one of the pilots of that plane, you knew instantly that he would not have survived, because which plane survives a mid-air explosion? Do you remember that phone call?
Yes, ma'am. It was Sunday around 12:43 when it happened. Actually, I was feeling very low that day. Unfortunately, I had a very bad dream. Like I had put his white uniforms in the washing machine and it blew up. And I was very disturbed after that. That was something 5 o'clock in the morning. And after that, I was very, very disturbed. I didn't know, I didn't never realize what was happening to me. And around 3 o'clock, Mr. Varinder, who was the top hero of Punjabi movies that time, the first cousin of Mr. Dharmendra, and he came over. First thing he asked me around 3 o'clock, where is Paji? He used to call him Paji. I said, he's on flight. And he says, which flight? I said, today he should be landing in London. I'm supposed to give him a call when he lands in London in the evening. And he said, which flight he was on? So I told him, he says, are you sure? By then he said that I knew. I said, Paji, tell me what has happened. And he said, there is a crash. So I asked him, I said, is it mid-air? He said, yes. So first thing I told him, I'm finished. That was my only first three words, two words, I'm finished. And he started hugging me. I was crying and all that. And after that, so many people started coming to my apartment. We were living in Juhu, Bombay that time. So after that, I don't know who all came. Many people came from Air Force, but I was not in my senses. My children was howling. They were crying. They were clinging to me and crying. They
And
were only 10 and
I
7
can,
that time.
I'm so sorry. I can hear your tears all the way here. आज भी वैसा ही दर्द लगता है ना मैम.
My daughter was 10-year-old and son was only 7. They didn't know what to do. They could neither cry nor do anything. They were just clinging to me and, like they were howling like anything.
I'm so sorry.
There were so many people, even Paji Dharmendra. I was very close to that family, like a sister. He came and he was standing in the staircase, I don't know for how many hours. There were so many people in the building. It was like, just say, I don't know what has happened. It was like that big crowd in that building.
Yes, ma'am.
So, sorry, ma'am, I'm sorry.
No, I am
That's
sorry,
why I
ma'am. नहीं
always
आप क्यों?
avoid now. No,
नहीं
it's
नहीं
okay.
नहीं नहीं.
You ask me anything else. I'll be okay.
No, no, you can never be okay because justice, first you lost your husband in such a horrible way, and then justice was never done. And of course, it will bring tears. कोई भी हो, कोई भी इंसान हो, वो आज भी रोएगा जैसे आप रो रही हैं. And my heart goes out to you, and I am sorry. आपने कहा कि क्लोजर नेवर हैपेंड, जस्टिस नेवर केम. जब आपने देखा कि कनाडा ने किस तरह इसको कवर अप किया, एक बंदा कन्विक्ट हुआ, उसको भी पहले रिलीज कर दिया. दैट गाय वाज आल्सो रिलीज्ड अर्ली फ्रॉम प्रिजन. हाउ डिड दैट मेक यू फील? डिड इट मेक यू फील एंग्री, हेल्पलेस, फ्रस्ट्रेटेड? क्या
And
गुजरती थी?
it
हाँ
was
जी मैम.
very shocking when we went to Vancouver to, we were invited by Canadian government. We were given tickets and all that, kept in a hotel for 7 days. So we used to go to the court when that, that case was going on. And Malik and Bagdi, when they came to the court, there was a, like big kind of glass in between, and we could only see them, but you can't speak to anyone. So when they came, I didn't see any regret, any remorse on their face. It was very sad to see them that they had no, this thing, sometimes you just put your eyes down, feeling bad that families are sitting. And, we felt that these people have no feelings for us, even after doing that. If they did it, I don't know. That time we felt they are caught them and they must have done it, but then later they were set free. So, and then when
Maybe they all,
Justice John Major's
maybe they
commission
always
started,
knew. Maybe they always knew they were going to walk free.
we don't know when this Justice John Major commission was started. We had a new hope, but after some, that hope was also shattered. And after that, we stopped thinking about, at least I have stopped thinking about the closure, because I know we will never get it. We will never get it. Barkhaji, I want to say something. It's very simple. When I have also worked with Air India in commercial department after I lost my husband, I had done my master's that way. I was lucky. So I got a, job, whatever the MBAs were getting. And I was given I was manager Chandigarh, and I was looking after Himachal and Chandigarh that time. And after I started working, I could, feel that when you make a booking, payment is done whichever way, whether check or cash or something, like you can always trace back the person who booked the tickets on M Singh, L Singh, whatever their initials were put on the tickets. But that was so simple, even that was not done. I don't understand. That was the simplest thing what could have been done at that time,
Yeah.
tracking back
You
the
said,
person who booked the
yeah.
tickets.
So there are two, three things that happened here. You know, I was talking to another family, and they said that the Canadian intelligence had recordings of these people on Vancouver Island. The bombs were actually practiced and tested first. ये रोक सकते थे, इन्होंने रोका नहीं. जब ये हो गया हादसा, उसके बाद किसी को punish नहीं किया. The whole thing has been a cover up.
Yeah, it's very sad, very, very sad. Only one person, that Inderjeet Singh Rayat, was punished for making the bomb or whatever and testing it or something like that. After that, no one, they also got free. Bagdi and Malik also got free, and no one else was arrested.
Ma'am, when you sat
So
there
we
in the
had,
court.
in the beginning, we had great
Yes.
hopes after.
Yes. नहीं, मैं कह रही थी कि when you
After
sat
that
there,
John Major Commission,
when
we
you,
had great hopes.
पर आप गई, you went to Canada, you were sitting in court, you saw these men who did this, and when you saw कि उनमें ना remorse था ना डर था, there was no fear, no regret, nothing, no shame. How did that make you feel as someone, a young widow who had just lost her husband?
Actually, when you see these people, you just, your mind, your brain, it becomes numb. You stop thinking only. It's very difficult to express what you are thinking because there are so many things going in your mind at the same time. So I really can't express what we were thinking. My sister was also with me at that time. When we came back to the hotel, we cried and cried and cried.
I can imagine. I'm so sorry. You said you have lost hope of any justice. आज जब आप देखते हैं कि जस्टिन ट्रूडो किस तरह की बातें कर रहा है, हरदीप निज्जर के बारे में किस तरह से उसको प्लम्बर और उसको एक्टिविस्ट बताया जा रहा है, how does that make you feel, ma'am?
Okay, Barkha ji, through your medium, I want to express my own personal feelings. You know, I have heard this slogan, justice for Sikhs. Okay. And I feel what kind of justice we need. We, in parliament, we have had so many Sikh ministers at the top, heading the departments, those, and then we had a defense minister, Sardar Swaran Singh, defense minister. It's a very sensible, post. And then we had our president, Gyani Zail Singh ji, and then we had our prime minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, who's been respected all over the world as an economist, one of the top economists and most intelligent and honest person also. And then, we have my own husband. He served in Indian Air Force. He was commissioned at the age of 19 years and 3 months. And as a squadron leader, when he was one of the pilots, top category pilot, he joined Air India at the age of 33. And his younger brother, Major R.S. Bhinder, he also left, he took premature retirement because of the family tragedies. We lost my husband, and then after that, we lost my father-in-law also. So there was, another brother is there. He was also in service. So he had to come back home to look after my mother-in-law and look after the, the rest of the things in the house. And then I have 4 or 5 bureaucrats in my family. First relations. 2 are already retired. 2, 3 are still working as IAS officers. Now this is a center post. Tell me, where are we lacking anything? If you are intelligent, if you are capable, you can reach anywhere. Who is stopping you?
Yes.
I'm giving you example, my own family. And my husband's younger sister's husband retired as colonel, army colonel. And his 2 sons also retired as colonel in the army. So we are family of defense background. We are family of from services, central services.
Yes.
We don't feel that we need any justice. If we are capable and we have capacity, we are educated, we are intelligent, we can reach anywhere. No one is stopping us.
Ma'am, I'll tell you one thing.
Talk of Khalistan or something.
जी आप बोलिए खालिस्तान की जब आप सुनते हैं बातें.
And people are talking of Khalistan. Barkha ji, I belong to Punjab. We live in Punjab. I have most of my relations in Punjab, in Haryana, in Chandigarh. We go to Punjab. We don't see anything like Khalistan. No one wants Khalistan. We are very happy. We are peaceful. If you also will travel to tomorrow to Punjab, you will not feel that there is anything. So when
I
everyone, sometimes I feel very hurt.
I am a Punjabi with Sikhs in my family, and I'm so glad you have said this. No one wants Khalistan because हमारी वेस्टर्न मीडिया वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज को समझ ही नहीं आती. उनको लगता है कि पंजाब में अनरेस्ट है. One of the very important things you've said is Khalistan is a foreign story. It is not an Indian story. There may be some extreme elements, but 95% of Sikhs surveyed, by the way, ma'am said they were very proud Indians. So I'm very glad you made this point. I want to ask you, after everything that happened with your husband, after all your trauma, after all your struggles, your son became a pilot. Your son became a pilot with Air India. In fact, we have his photographs and we'll show them. Your daughter married a pilot. How did that make you feel when your son told you, I want to fly planes? Did you feel scared after what had happened to your husband?
I'll be very honest with Barkha ji. When my first daughter wanted to be a pilot, but I was successful in persuading her not to become a pilot, and she ended up marrying a pilot. Then my son wanted to be a pilot when he was very small. When my husband used to come back from the flight, and he was just walking around, he would wear his shirt and walk around, say, "I am pilot. I am pilot." He has been saying this from the very beginning, ever since he started speaking only. So I tried to kind of, my best is that he doesn't go for flying, but I failed in my, efforts. And and finally I gave in, and then I supported him wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly I supported him. But then I put a shart. I said, okay, you can't go for flying after +2. You finish your engineering, because he had done non-medical.
Yes.
Then he said, okay,
yes.
Mama, we have compromised in between. I will do BCom, and then after that you let me do flying. So I will agree to you. I said, okay. Then he finished his BCom, and I sent him to America to do his, commercial pilot license. And then he came back. Yes. He changed it to Indian license. First, he joined Sahara Airlines. And after 1 year, he did 1,000 hours. He joined Indian Airlines. And after merger, he's come back to Air India. But his first wish was to Air India, which finally it was fulfilled. I'm very happy that he's in Air India. He's sitting in father's seat now.
He's sitting in his father's seat now. God bless him. I want to ask you one last question. Do you feel कि आज के दिन जब at least the world is starting to talk about Canada's links with protecting these terrorists, लगता है कि कुछ होगा कि बिल्कुल ही उम्मीद नहीं कि इस केस में जस्टिस कभी मिलेगी? कम से कम दुनिया को पता तो चले कि किस तरह से दुनिया तो भूल ही गई है कि कनिष्का बॉम्बिंग भी कोई चीज थी.
Barkha ji, as far as Kanishka is concerned, I'll be very honest with you. I have no hope for any justice now, because too much time has passed in between. It's 38 years, and all the witnesses, they are no more on this planet also. But I would request the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Trudeau, to do his utmost, to do his best to improve and make the best relations with our country, India.
You still think he might do that after how he's behaved?
Barkha ji, I have a hope. People there might realize that, that they need to improve the relations, and they need to do something about it. They have to do something, not something, they have to do a lot about it.
Well, I only hope that Justin Trudeau, who doesn't seem to listen to governments and officials, listens to the voice of pain from a woman who was widowed because her husband was one of the pilots who was flying that plane, left to be a single mother, to bring up 2 small children. The daughter she persuaded not to be a pilot, she married a pilot. The son is a pilot today, as she said, in her father's seat. But it's heartbreaking to hear her say that she's lost all hope of justice. We remind our audience today, this is how Canada enabled and then protected the men who bombed Air India 182, leaving in the debris the human heartbreak of women and families like that of Amarjit Kaur. Amarjit ji, ma'am, thank you. I thank you for talking to us and for being the brave person that you are. May God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you, Barkha ji, giving me this time, and I'm very sorry. I'm a very emotional person. I'm not that strong. After I lost great husband, he was a very loving and caring husband. He was a great father, but unfortunately, he's not with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I can see, is that his photograph behind you, ma'am? Is that your husband's photograph behind you?
Yes, ma'am. They are everywhere in every room.
God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you,
God
ma'am.
bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope to
Thank you.
see you sometime in person also.
Absolutely, ma'am. I'll come and see you in Chandigarh, ma'am. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.